Why is it important to build a trial team at your law firm? Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in today. If you're running a small plaintiff's practice, it's important to learn about how to build a trial team. And so to help you learn about that, I've invited Tom Mateer to appear here on the Law Practice Channel today to help you understand why building a trial team is so important to the success that you want to get for your clients. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, Mike. I'm just so glad to be able to talk with you today.
Yeah, well, I know one of your passions is helping other plaintiff lawyers get excellent results for their clients. And so thanks for joining us to do some of that today. And I've been reading some of your writing about building trial teams. It makes a lot of sense to me. But for those who have not heard of that, what's your concept on that?
Well, in fact, this concept led me to create a law firm 20 years ago. I was already had substantial experience in a good trial practice, but I realized I needed to create for myself what I saw others needed. And if you think about it, you've got a plaintiff's in a defense firm, and the plaintiff's attorney sends something over to the defense firm, and the defense firm responds. So there's discovery going back and forth, there are pleadings going back and forth, you do depositions back and forth, and then you've got a timeline. And the timeline is that we're going to have to end up going to trial. We're going to have a mediation before the trial, and we've got this discovery. So the court schedules, the mediation and the trial date. Well, what so typically happens is that insurance adjusters give the defense attorneys a budget because the insurance company believes they will settle this case when it comes to that mediation. So they don't need to spend all the money and all the time to prepare this case. For the plaintiff, particularly in a small firm, or when I was a solo practitioner or just a few partners, we would take in cases every day. We would process those cases, and then we'd want to stay on task to settle those cases for our clients. And yet at the same time, we needed to be preparing trials. Well, if you're back here in this mirror images of discovery practice and trying to get ready to go to trial, if you get to that mediation in a significant case and you refuse to settle it, which you should often do because you need to get to trial to get the kind of compensation our clients need often, why all of a sudden discovery is supposed to be over and you're supposed to think you've got time to prepare that case. Well, what happens is the defense all of a sudden needs more depositions, they produce more exhibits, they file more motions, and the poor attorney who's trying to do this all by himself or herself, or with maybe just one or two partners, is absolutely overwhelmed. And so many times lawyers go to that first day of trial, they've not gotten their focus groups done, they've not really prepared their examinations, they're not quite sure how their opening and closing are going to fit together, and they're exhausted. Let alone the fact that they have a lot of money riding on a positive outcome, and they promise their client they're going to have a positive outcome. So what I did was I designed a firm and left my old firm, started a brand new firm with this idea in mind, that I would have an attorney who was doing the discovery and keeping the other side busy, and we purposely keep the other side busy. And I would spend my time stacked on top of that from the very beginning, thinking about how am I going to try this case? What focus groups do I need to do? What education do I need to have for myself? What witnesses and investigation do I need to do? What experts do I need to have? How am I going to pay for all of that? How do I line it up so that we're the ones filing the motion, keeping the other side on their heels, make them the ones that are exhausted coming in? And oftentimes when we team up, we're a much bigger team than the defense has as a result. And so I've built an entire firm now with offices in 5 states on the concept that we're going to provide very good trial counsel for attorneys who need it, as well as for ourselves. And so if I'm a young attorney or a solo practitioner or practicing in a small firm, even very experienced attorney, I need help. And the time to get that help is as early as possible so that you can plan this out. We hold case conference meetings on a regular basis so that everybody on the team is together. And, sometimes cases come into our office 30 days before trial, sometimes even shorter. We have a team that is able to put all of that together, paralegals who are trial ready, our own exhibit system, all these organizational things that we're able to do so that our co-counsel or referring counsel can continue their daily practice. They can play as big a role or a smaller role in this as they wish, but we're there to support them. And because we work together, we get much better results for them than they can get on their own. And of course, it means a lot to us because we can help more people. Right. We can help these attorneys. It's a very important aspect. Wow. And as you know, if you're going to sleep at night, you want to keep your office open as a lawyer. And putting trials on takes special organizational practices that you don't normally have in a meat and potatoes personal injury practice.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So
I haven't thought about the time aspect. That makes a lot of sense. I tend to think about the finance because that's the business I'm in. And I always say there's a finite number of dollars to pay for case development, and so you have to divvy that up because you and I, we can't print money in the basement like the government can, and so you have to ration that out. But I haven't really thought about the time aspect. There are only so many hours in the day, only 7 days in the week, so I guess they're working with a limited budget in terms of their time as well. Yes,
and limited energy. We can only work so many 20-hour days in a row before we're boots up, Right. And the finances are such a big part of this because understanding what it really is going to take to get a significant case to trial, through the appeals process if necessary. How are we going to put so much pressure on the insurance company and defense counsel that we're going to force them to settle this case? Because one of the theories they have, if you don't have a lot of experiences, you'll probably just screw up somewhere along the line. So they're not going to pay you and force you to put your case on. Okay. One of the things we always look at, and of course we use advocate capital as part of our services and part of our daily existence, is that we know with your help that we can afford to finance all of these cases and all of these trials, make sure we get the best of the best and have it all put together. There you go. And still have co-counsel sleeping well because we're at the point of the stick. And if they want to come into everything and learn, perfect. If they want to do a significant part of it, perfect. But we're there as their partner. Wow. And it's just meaningful to us to do that.
Well, Tom, if a lawyer's watching this and that sounds interesting to them and they may want to reach out and ask you a few questions, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can just go to tom@metierlaw.com, M as in Mary, ETIERLAW.com, or go to our website, metierlaw.com, again, M as in Mary, ETIERLAW.com, or just call us at 970-377-3800. Love to talk with you and love to brainstorm with you to how to put your case together, even if you're going to partner with somebody else. We want to make sure your clients are getting the best, and you are too.
Once again, Tom, thank you for always being willing to share your knowledge and experience. And I think it's a great idea to help these smaller law firms really get the results they want to get for their clients. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks, Mike. We want them all to be successful.
You bet. Take care.